could always lay and sleep. Our faces still stuck like glue. Still sets through our window. We could always lay and sleep. Faces still stuck like glue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FST Improv interview. My name is Will Rivera, and thank you very, very much, first of all, to Matt Walker, cast member of FST Improv, who provided the opening music for our show. Very, very talented comedian, musician, performer, artist out of St. Pete, and very proud to call him a castmate here at FST Improv. So welcome to our weekly Friday night show. This is one of a few virtual shows that we have running every week here through FST Improv. On this show, we interview improv teacher, directors, and performers from around the world to get their perspective on improv and life and anything else that they want to share with us. Now, before I introduce today's guest, I just want to talk a little bit more about the other shows that we have going on. As some of you might know, every Thursday night, we do Impro Latinx at 9:15 p.m. here on Facebook, which is Improv in Spanish. On Friday nights, we do these improv interviews. On Friday nights at 8, we sometimes do private Zoom shows, or I shouldn't say private, but invite-only Zoom shows. So if you're interested in getting information on how to come into those, just let me know. Saturday nights at 7, we do radio call-in over on Instagram. So come join us there. And then on Saturday nights at 8, we also do other Zoom invite-only shows. So again, if you want more information on those shows, you could either check our Facebook or social media feeds, or you can contact me directly. So why don't we get started with our interview? So this person that we're going to have on today has become a really good friend of mine. I've now known her, if I do the math on the festivals, I think it's been 11 years. I think I could accurately and confidently say that she is the reason why I am currently living in Sarasota. So why don't we welcome her to the stage? Please welcome to the Zoom stage, Miss Christine Alexander. All right, Christine. Hey. Hi, Christine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've not seen you in a few months in person.
Yes. I'm happy to see your face over Zoom.
Over Zoom. Oh, do you remember the last time we saw each other in person?
Was it our last show? My last show was leap year day last year.
It?
Like, what a great thing. 2020 just had one more thing on there to remember. So yeah, February 29th was my last show.
Oh.
When was the last time we saw each other?
Oh, you know what? Now, since you don't remember, I'm going to go find it while we're doing this interview. And then I'm going to show it to you. And you're going to be like, oh my, that's right. I remember this moment. But until then, so you are based here out of Sarasota. You are the reason why I'm here. You manifested it. Do you remember that?
I totally did. We met at a Tampa workshop, and I was there with Daryl Knapp.
That's right. But that's not where we met. We already knew each other, right?
You're right. I already knew you. And that's why I came, went to Tampa. And so Daryl and I met you there, or, had fun with you there. And when we were looking for a director, and you said something, and I was like, I'm putting into the universe that you're going to be our director. And you're like, who is this nutball?
I could not envision myself living in Sarasota, and now here I am.
Yeah, and it worked. It's lovely. And it's stuck. That was the best part, was that you stuck. We've had other people try to, directorship, and it worked with you. It worked with everybody else too, but you really stuck, and I like it.
Well, it felt like a dream job once I got here, and then I just have everybody that I got to work with. I think was a very special treat, including yourself.
Are you kidding? The troupe that you've what do you call this? Cultivate is incredible. I love our troupe. I love it. I feel like, Patrick Jackson just texted me because it was my birthday, and he said, "Happy birthday, improv mom."
Oh, and you are improv mom.
I love it now. I used to be like, but now I'm okay with it, because now I need hugs.
Yeah. So have you been keeping busy during this time?
Yes. I immediately started doing my improv workshops online. So I've been taking improv and using it with cancer patients, volunteering at different spots around Sarasota, and our little group went over to Sarasota Memorial, and that's where we were holding them for the last bit of time. And since I wasn't meeting with them, I thought, wow, it would really be great to meet with them again. So now we see each other every Friday. And sometimes it's some of the only time that anybody gets to see anybody or talk to real people. And we've just cultivated such a glorious little beautiful group. And then on Wednesdays, Emily, part of our troupe, Emily Levin, she does,
Yeah.
she leads it. And so we have a cancer oh, wellness class on Friday, and then kind of a public workshop on Wednesdays. And it's just an hour from 1 to 2. And we just do silly 101 improv games. And then the last half hour, we just kind of sit and talk and catch up with each other. It's really lovely.
Now, you say silly, and yes, for most of us improvisers, it would be silly. These are like games that we did a long time ago that we've now gotten used to, and maybe we even do them without thinking sometimes, right? But I think we can't gloss over like the work that you do, right?
Mm.
And because you just kind of casually within all of that threw in cancer patients, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, 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 it's all right. It's your element. These are people that you work with every week, but I think like a lot of people don't do that kind of work. So I think it's important. Can you tell us more
Mm.
about that?
Sure. If it was a few years ago when one of my clients asked me if I would be interested in leading a workshop because I had done it for her employees, for the group that was there, and they were all cancer patients. And I said, absolutely sure, I can't wait. And that very first workshop, a lady came up to me afterwards and said, for that hour, I didn't think about cancer at all. And she had stage 4 breast cancer. And when she said that, it's like, it was the most powerful sentence that someone has ever said to me. I didn't go to college. So when she said that, I was like, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. you know,
Mm,
it was so powerful. And it rocked my world. There was also a lady in there, Nancy Richardson. She's awesome. She
yeah.
has been with me since that very first class. And I met her at one of our FST improv classes when I was teaching,
Mm.
way back then. She had been there, and then I met her. So now she's been here all years and years with me. It's such a lovely um, position that I'm in, to be able to provide this space. And then on other Wednesdays, I do it for the Neuro Challenge Foundation, and they have Parkinson's patients and caregivers, and we do a workshop with them on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. And again, we don't talk about cancer or Parkinson's or anything. So for them to come to a workshop for an hour, or any kind of support group for an hour, and not have to talk about their disease, it's it's what improv is for all of us. It's
Yes,
the
right.
reason why we're there, why we found it, and we want to go back every time, because it's ridiculously fun. you know
Well, so I mean, I could tell that you're passionate about this. Like you find, I don't want to say meaning, but I mean, this is something that a lot of people would not have the patience to do the work that you're doing, right?
Oh,
Like a lot of, I feel,
yeah.
and I just know a lot of improvisers that probably would, uh, not be interested in, maybe they would be more interested in, doing the joke, doing the funnies, but
Sure.
I've done work similar to yours. I don't think I've done with the consistency that you and the frequency that you do, but you find this to be very fulfilling. I have filled in for you, like when you've been double booked or something, you've asked me to cover for, do one thing or another, or help you out or assist you, and it's always been like a lot of like it's very fulfilling. It is so eye opening. It is awesome. So I just wanted to say that I think the work that you
Thank you.
do is so important. Is there
Thanks.
do you do anything differently? Like, if you're running, you've already kind of alluded to it. You're doing a workshop with Parkinson's patient or cancer patient, as opposed to like just running a regular class. Like, what is your mind doing, right? Like, you're running a level 1 class and you're trying to teach new skills. You're trying to say, like, okay, this is my goal for today is to teach them how to do characters or voices. But you're in a room full of cancer patients or Parkinson's patients. What is your mind trying to do? What do you
For
think?
sure. Yeah, and it changes every single time. I have an idea of the games that we play, and usually the first 3 games, like a shakeout and like are similar, so everybody's kind of familiar. But I really do look at the room and see where everybody is. If people have been there before, we go into a little bit deeper. If they have never been there before, then I really pay attention to making sure that everybody feels safe and courageous. And I lay out the line of saying, like, there are no mistakes at the very top. I say, if you make a mistake, if I ask you to say zip, zap, zop, and you say zip, 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 then we all go, yay! And we cheer you on. If we come to you and I say, make a noise, and you go, I don't know, that's the best noise you've ever made in your entire life. So I give them a lot of empowering moments to feel safe to do anything. And that makes them understand that the other people are free and safe to do anything that they want to too. And so there's no judgment here. I usually go, we have our judgment hat on, and let's just take it off and put it in the cubby hole right there for this hour. It'll come rushing back after the hour, but for right now, let's just put that judgment over there. So you see, I can be like totally ridiculous. And with the Parkinson's group, their body is closing in on them, and so a lot of outward and opening your body and being expressive is big for their treatment and where they are. And I guess I don't know what your question was at this point.
No, you did it. You answered it.
Okay.
You answered both of them.
Okay, good. It's
Yeah.
just lovely. I just try to make sure that everybody feels very safe, and the group just is so happy to be there. I don't know how to say it. They're just they're lovely. It's so, I need them too. There's some times where I'm like, why did I do this? I feel good today. It's 20. And then I get there, and afterwards my husband is like, are you kidding me with how happy you are right now? Like, this is gorgeous. Yeah. It really lights my world.
Now the name of your group or your company is
Laugh to Feel Good. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Because if it feels good to laugh, then laugh to feel good.
I love it. I see that tagline all the time.
What I realized in 2020 is, if it feels good to cry, then cry to feel good. Yeah, so there's a big dip.
The classes that you're doing now, are they in person?
Everything is 100% online, which is even better, because getting to the hospital and parking and then moving your way into the hospital, it was ridiculous. It wasn't ridiculous, but it was difficult. And sometimes you gotta leave and deal with all that just to laugh for an hour. Yeah, but then so online, it's really easy to show up.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you more about improv, but before I do that, I want to show you the last time that I saw you. The last time that I saw you. Are you ready?
Yes, I can't wait.
Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on, wait.
Oh.
I think I forgot something. I think I forgot something.
You.
Let me do that again.
You.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the last time I saw you.
You came over here to drop something off.
Hi.
Are you taping me too?
I am. Here it is.
Okay, just leave it there.
Where? Right here?
You back up.
I'm backing up.
Back up. I got something for you too.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it
Hi.
right there.
Hi.
If Elisa's here, she would be yelling at you.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's so choppy.
I am so close to you. I'm zooming in. I'm like right next to you.
I can't see it.
You
Don't
just spit on me?
Don't.
Oh, that's right.
That was so rude. Why did you play that part?
I wasn't near you. That we should be clear. I wasn't near you. I
Yes.
zoomed in on you. I was still like 20 feet away,
I
but I
was
zoomed in on you, and you spit on my Zoom.
I was trying
As-
to keep you awake. Oh my God. It's
uh,
horrible. I think Lily Tomlin did that in Big Business. And so I was just, I don't know. That's funny. Well,
that was March. Oh my, wow, that was March 25th. That was right at the beginning of this whole thing.
well, because we didn't have masks on,
Yeah, we didn't have. Oh yeah, because we still weren't wearing masks.
right?
That's right.
So that was when
'Cause-
it was okay to joke about spitting still. Not really.
Yes,
I
yes. I don't know what
shouldn't.
the hell this thing was. No, because I was remembering, I was talking to our friend Anna Weatherwax a few weeks ago, and then I was like, because I saw her with a mask on, and then like on in a video she did, and I'm like, oh my, I don't think I never saw you with a mask on in Sarasota, because that's right, like we weren't wearing masks yet. We didn't know what to do.
Nope.
Like you
Here we are.
remember at the beginning, like when we couldn't find masks, like people were turning their underwear into masks. Like people were posting videos. People were posting videos. This is how you turn your underwear into a mask. Like my first few masks were sleeves from t-shirt that I cut off
Right.
and I turned into a mask.
I think I remember
Yeah.
watching you do that. I saw somebody just make a mask out of the heel of a sock. And it wasn't like, it was when you're done with your sock. And I'm like, I sweat
You know,
too much. My feet's sweaty. No, I'm not going to put that stuff in my face. That's my foot.
so in this conversation, I think you've been giving us a good showcase. Also, of I'm sorry that I'm looking up because my second monitor is there, so I'm just checking. But during this
You're stuck.
Interview, you've given us a good example of also what makes Christine as a
Mm.
performer. Right. So, and so I want to talk about that. I want to talk
Okay.
about Christine, the performer. So I want to know what like when because one thing I appreciate about you as a performer, I appreciate many things, but there's one thing that I do appreciate, maybe more than all others, is that you're constantly trying to get better. You're constantly trying to get better. But I think it's difficult for you to take classes in Sarasota because you, like a few others, like everybody like comes to see you, everybody looks up to you, everybody like, but it so so sometimes when you take classes, it's like here's all these admirers, here's all these fans, and you're just trying to learn. You're like, how can I make myself better? But I always appreciate how like when the festival comes around, you sign up for as many classes as possible. Whenever we have a guest, you sign up. You're always trying to get better. But uh, around all the new things that you've learned over the years, at the very core, there's still Christine the improviser.
Mm.
And so I want to know, who is that person? What does Christine the improviser find funny? What does Christine the improviser like to do on stage?
Wow, that's funny. I really have noticed over the years that the way improv has like kind of shifted for me. And it's probably been this way the whole time, but shifted into more like realistic and dramatic, and like bring it down. Don't be so Jim Carrey. And I can't do that. I've tried. And so I think for 2020, if I realized that the person, the character that I am is like, Jim Carrey, or what kind of like that big performer, big things. And the things that I find funny are when I watch them. Like I just watched The Interview,
Yeah.
and the whole thing was ridiculous. But when he turns around and like bites off the guy's fingers, did you see it? And he's like, my fingers, ah. And he turns around and he bites off the other fingers. I'm dying. I don't know why. It's so funny. I don't know why. But that kind of physical, ridiculous comedy where somebody else is in pain, I am dying laughing at it. It's so horrible. But yeah, that's kind of funny to me. I really enjoy it. For as a performer, I don't know. I'm like, 2020 has just been a reflection year. And so it's a lot of like um negative reflection year,
Like,
and
you're
so
looking back on yourself in a negative way.
sure, yeah, oh yeah. You just there's a lot of stuff. I enjoy being a big physical actor. What I don't enjoy is bulldozing my fellow players, and I feel like I've done a lot of that in my life. I feel like I am one of the good examples of people who, well, she became a teacher because she can't really do it. That
What?
I feel
No.
not like she can't, but I feel like it's the teaching part in me is I freaking love it, I love it. And the performance part in me is also there. It's a whole different person
Yeah.
that gets on stage, she's not afraid of anything. She's not afraid to say anything, embarrassingly sometimes for FST. And for for me personally, I can't write a Facebook post anymore. Like I am totally off Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, and so I
Wait,
don't
are
know
you
who I
really? You're
am
totally
now.
off Facebook and Instagram?
I peek in and go ah, and leave.
Because you're oh my god, I said it, but your husband is pretty active.
He is, and that's where I keep all my, he just tells me things every once in a while, but I mean, he keeps his activity to himself, so I don't really know what's going on. But I just I'm trying to figure out who this Christine performer is. Yeah.
So do you think that once we Chris Alexander just said Nebraska.
So when when we first started doing improv shows, which I think I have this thing I got to show you. Back in 2002 or something, we started in 2001. Christopher my husband came to every single show for 10 years.
Wow.
Every show for 10 years. And at the 10th year, he was like, I'm gonna sit down for a second, which is fine. Because then there was another 10 years that came on. So it was okay. But what he would do every single show, Rebecca would say, "Can you give me a location?" He would say, "Nebraska." And then my dad, who also came to every single show for 10 years, would say, Rebecca would go, "Okay, something more specific." And my dad would go, "Omaha." And so it was there. Go to.
That is very funny.
If you say the word Nebraska, just like that to Rebecca, she'll say Chris Alexander. Or just pull out. It is adorable.
So funny.
Yeah, good times. But I was pulling this because we just found it. It's a improvisation. Isn't that cute?
Oh, look at this. Let me see those names. It's Christine Alexander, Tim Beasley. Josh Ford was on it?
Yep. He was
Karen
one of our
Curley,
first.
Chris Friday and Kristen Gilmartin.
Who? Kristen Gilmartin. Listen to this. This is hysterical. She's like, she was the manager of the cabaret. Rest assured, Kristen has not quit her day job. When she's not living under the stairs in the cabaret restaurant, she can be found trying to control the universe that revolves around this theater. Do not be fooled. It's a separate dimension. Kristen is not thrilled to be in the improv troupe. She only does it because her boss, Rebecca, makes her. I think it's hilarious. I guess it's such a funny joke.
Was that true?
Joke. No, I'm sure it wasn't. And then Amy Schaefer.
Sure it wasn't.
No, and then Rebecca and Jim, of course, but Amy Schaefer, she was a cutie. She when they would say world's worst anesthesiologist, she would go out and she'd go to sleep, go to sleep. I mean, it was hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
That was one of our first troops. Yeah. It's been around for a long time. I took the very first class that FST offered in 2001.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, good times.
So, okay. You talk about the different Christines, right? There's the offstage Christine and the onstage Christine. Um, so I
Uncomfortable,
want you to
comfortable.
walk me. I want you to walk me through. I want to give you a suggestion, and then I want you as slowly as possible walk me through how your brain takes that suggestion, and then what does it do to your face, to your body, to your brain, and then what comes out of your mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mhm.
let's say that the suggestion, I'm like, can I get a location? They say Waffle House.
Mhm.
So Waffle House, walk me through what is going on right now. Okay, you hear Waffle House. What happens?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of like personal family stuff that I won't bring up that
Yeah.
comes into it. It's immediately sticky. I feel sticky, and I feel like I would sit at one of the tables.
So
That's just like
you would put your character at one of the tables.
I that's what my brain is doing right now.
So
Like
that's fine.
where
Yeah, no,
where I can see, I don't know if I would be sitting yet. On stage, I would probably be looking at my partner to see what the hell they're doing too. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I don't look, because I'm a jerk. No, what else? Waffle House, and I think I'd probably kind of go into like
good.
because
Do
I'm
it. Do it. Do it.
rude.
Oh, no, 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 no. You're not. No, I want to see this. Go ahead. Just show me that.
Yeah, I'd probably go into like a waitress of some sort who is
A
really happy to
waitress.
be here, who says things that, she's so happy to see you. You look beautiful today, where she has like a face that doesn't show how happy she is, how she has absolute joy for the excitement that she sees in your eyes when you order that bacon. I love you. That's kind of
Good. I love it.
how
Okay, good. All right, nice. I love that. Thank you. I want to because I know you to be a very physical, big character player. Like right at the top of the scene, you've got something. And I didn't say this earlier, but I do think like every ensemble to make a good ensemble, like you need every type of player, and like to have somebody that's just gonna go, all out with a big character at the top is a very important thing, right?
I
And
mean,
that's who you are.
I've told my students before that if you see me crossing the stage, it's because I have absolutely nothing in my mind. If you ever see me pull something out of a refrigerator and open it and drink it, I don't know what's going on. So
All right, I'm
that's
gonna go. We're gonna do this again. All right,
okay.
ready? I'm gonna give
Okay.
you a new suggestion, and then you're gonna walk us through what's going on through your brain, all the way to the point that the character manifests. Okay. So, golf, like the sport.
Mhm. Yeah, I just immediately have balls, like my legs, if you could see my legs, my knees opened up immediately and my chest came out. And I'm just,
Okay.
again, I want to like,
Who
I
is
want
this
to
person?
peacock.
Who is that? Who is that? Who? Oh, you're peacocking. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. You're peacock. What is he? What is he? Or yeah, he. What is he wearing?
Oh, he's wearing those khaki shorts that are a little too
Yeah.
short with a little polo that has a flip, and he lives at the Villages. He's driving his own golf cart. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's rude. He's not this, he's not that girl. He's definitely like rude.
I have a question. Is there an age restriction for living at the villages? Like if
I
you're
think it's
like
a 55 and over. Hmm.
okay, got it. So you can't be like a young 35-year-old being like, I'm gonna
I mean,
score
they're
a
gonna
bunch of
let you
cougars.
in. They're gonna be like, come on, come on. They have a good
Oh
time at the
man.
Villages. They do.
Oh, I know. I heard. I've heard. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. I want to see you walk through this. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Just to hear your thought process and then how it ultimately manifests itself into a character. So last one is Teacher's Lounge. Teacher's
Mm.
Lounge.
Oh my gosh. So I immediately get really soft and like my voice goes like this. And I want to be super smart, but with information that isn't right. Right. So, like, one of the things I'll just use a Tim Beasley thing before he would say stuff like, okay, class. Um, and that's the story of how Jesus went over the yellow brick road. like something,
Yeah.
I can't
yeah.
remember what his was. It was better, but something ridiculous. Or, I start talking like this. See, all three of these characters are characters that I have done in the past that I'm like, I don't want to do those things anymore.
But
And
all
here
three
I
of them
am.
were so different. Like all three of them were so different.
I just feel like I'm in this world that we're in right now. I'm having, my mind is having a hard time knowing what to make fun of and what to,
Oh, sure.
because I've blindly made fun of things in the past,
We
and
all have.
now that I'm under much TikTok education, I can see the changes that I need to make. And
I'm glad you brought that up. I think we all have changes that we need to make. I mean, it's been a very informative year for all of us in this regard. And I've seen you online and in other conversations, kind of being aware of this and being aware of like the evolution, which is good. I wish more performers would embrace that. The fact that we need to be a bit more open-minded, a bit more sensitive, evolve. The things that used to be funny aren't funny anymore.
yeah,
It's gonna be
somebody,
there's gonna be growing pains for all of us. Go ahead.
I think it was Joe Bill who told me that, you should go towards human similarities. Everybody falls in love, or not. Everybody has this feeling, and I loved what he said. That kind of, I can't repeat it, or else I'd be able to do it. I'm kidding. But I really enjoyed that. So that's what I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
Thank you for recognizing that.
I think that's what everybody should. I hope everybody. I hope everyone takes that from this interview, that we all have ways to improve and space to improve. And even folks that have been doing this for 20 years, or like you and myself, are still working at that. We're not just sitting on our laurels and throwing out the same thing that we used to. Although sometimes we might, but we know that we need to get better.
Yeah, my laurels are tired.
Your laurels, yeah, they're so tired. Poor Laurel.
I had a friend in high school named Laurel, and we called her Lolly.
Why?
That's what her family called her, I believe. But then I saw her like as an adult, and she's like, "No, I'm a doctor now, so it's Laurel." I'm like, "Okay, Lolly."
Okay,
It's
Dr.
weird when you
Lolly.
see high school friends, right? You're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Skippy," and they're like, "No."
I don't know what Skippy was be short for.
Well, his name was David, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We called him Skippy.
Well,
Will,
that
you're
note,
so
thank
awesome.
you.
Can I, before you, I can tell you're
Oh,
about
sure.
to. I
know you could read me.
I could. We're close. I just, I'm so grateful that the Will Luera asked me for an interview. I feel privileged to be a part of your interviews, and absolutely to be a part of your friendship world.
You are part of the
Friends.
friendship world. Yeah, friends forever. This
Yes.
was a lot of fun. This was a fun. I'm glad we ran through those exercises, because I actually think
That was
those sort of like, I think those are like valuable tools for our students who watch these, so that they'll see, like, what goes through our minds when we start a scene, right? Like, hey, I hear this, I think this, and this is what comes out. And when I we can't think of something, go open the fridge.
Go open that fridge. Thanks, Will. You're so sweet. You're the best.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this FST Improv interview with Christine Alexander from FST Improv. There's no 8 o'clock show tonight, but we'll be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow for radio call-in on Instagram. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Bye, Christine.
Bye, Will.